Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today the video will be on a very important topic. So the topic, as you might have already read, is why you are repetitively getting rejected in your placement or for basically your job search. Now I'll be going step by step throughout all the rounds that are possible for a job. So first of all, if you are a fresher and you're trying to apply off campus, then the biggest mistake that you are making is in your resume, because whenever you apply off campus, basically your resume is going to be verified by their resume checkers, that is the automated softwares. They generally check the resume and they basically search for few keywords. Okay, so the first improvement that you can do is improve your resume. So first of all, if your resume is not of one page, then certainly reduce the content and make it of only one page. And the second major tip is that you should tailor your resume as per the job description. Now the reason behind that is most of the people just create one resume and apply to every job with that same resume. That resume might describe you, but it will not be very helpful in getting selected out of thousands of candidates, because obviously the person who is mentioning the particular skills required for that particular job, that will be favored. That person will be having an edge over you because that person is mentioning the skills that is actually required for that particular job, right? So for example, if I am applying for a web developer job and if I am mentioning skills like Java or C++, that wouldn't be really much helpful to me. But if I add skills like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.js, etc., right? So that would give me much more edge over that, considering that the company also uses React.js. Guys, if you want more such videos, please do like, comment and share. Please let me know what type of videos should I create more in the comment section. And if you have any doubts regarding your career or any issues related to your placement, simply DM me on Instagram or LinkedIn. I'll surely reply you. Now coming on to the next round, which is usually the aptitude round, right? So in the aptitude round, if you are repetitively failing, then you should identify the type of questions due to which you are failing. For example, in my case, I was personally facing issues in solving the time and work questions. So if you do not have any idea about these type of questions, you can simply Google them up and you will find a lot of questions on this particular topic. So what I did was I searched this particular topic, then I searched how these type of questions are solved. I tried solving those questions myself, and similarly I applied the same for other topics also in which I was facing issues, and gradually I started clearing the aptitude rounds. So identify the topics in which you are facing an issue, study about them and start solving questions on them, and then definitely you will be able to clear the round. As for the coding round, right? So the similar thing could be said for the same. If you are having DSA questions and your DSA is moderate overall, but you face issues in solving problems that are related to binary tree, right? So what you can do is study more about binary trees, start solving more questions that involve the concepts of binary trees, and that way obviously you will improve your weak point. Again, this will help you clear the round that you were not able to clear earlier. Now once you clear these rounds, generally you move into the interview rounds, right? And for the interview rounds, what you might be lacking is confidence. Confidence is really the key. I mean, if you have good confidence and you know the answer, just say it out loudly and confidently. You have understood the question, you know the answer, then why not tell it confidently? So generally people do tell it, but they do not tell it in a very confident way, due to which the interviewer might think that the person is simply guessing this. The person does not really know the proper answer, right? So that is why confidence plays such an important role in the interviews. And second of all, communication skills. So obviously communication skills is a very underrated skill in the interviews, because obviously if a question has been asked to you and if you are not able to understand that question, then also it's an issue of your communication skills, because you're not able to understand, or maybe the interviewer is not able to communicate the question properly, right? And secondly, if the interviewer is able to communicate the question properly and you are also able to understand, then what might be the issue now? That you know the answer, you are trying to tell the answer, but you are not able to properly communicate the answer, right? So obviously, if you are not able to communicate the answer, the interviewer will again think that this person does not really have very much good hold over his or her concepts, due to which the person is not able to tell the answers, right? Which is not really the case. So again, if you are not able to communicate properly with the interviewer, then it can be troublesome. Also, often the HR or the interviewer basically asks you the questions regarding why do you want to join this company, or do you know about our company, what we really do, right? So be prepared with these questions and do not simply cram up the basic generalized answers for these questions. What you need to do is properly research about the company, get to know the company, and try to find the points which you find relatable with the company. So in my case also, if you have not checked my ZS interview experience, I had shared that I was very well prepared with the question why I want to join ZS, because I had properly searched their website and found the points which were relatable to me. So I properly formulated the answer for this question, and luckily, since I was asked this question, I very much confidently told the answer, and this really makes a huge impact, because obviously, again, as I said earlier, if you are able to communicate properly and confidently, and you are not giving the answers which are very generalized or which are very basic, so obviously that also gives you an edge, because you are answering something that is of your own, right? You are answering something different. So this is what an interviewer really requires, right? So simply work on this as well, because this is again a very underrated thing in the interviews. Another important factor for getting jobs is networking. So networking is again a very important aspect. I'll just give you a very quick example. So in my final year, till the month of March, I was having only one job offer, and that was of a very low package at a service based company, and I obviously was searching for a better company and better package. And I had worked as an intern at a startup earlier, and one of the co-founders had left that original startup and was working for a better established startup, and he was working as a senior tech lead there. So basically that senior approached me and asked me if I was up for a job or I was searching for a job, and I obviously said yes. And then interviews were arranged for me and I successfully cleared those rounds, right? So as you could see, I cracked that job, I got that job only and only because of good networking. I didn't apply anywhere, that job simply came onto my doors. Because networking is really important. Having good connections, having good relationship with other people, especially your seniors, is really very important. You never know how that person can be helpful in your future. So work on that as well. Another point which is a bit specific for the software engineers or people who are aspiring to have a career in IT industry. So the point is, one of my friend, he's really good with DSA and was probably aiming for companies like FANG, right? But he was facing few rejections, and most of them came from companies which are service based, companies like TCS, Infosys, DXC. He faced rejections from those companies. His morale got really down, and even though I tried motivating him, his morale was still quite down. But the point is, you are good with DSA, and the companies in which he got rejected, they focus more on the aptitude part, right? So you need to figure out the type of companies you are applying to. So just be clear with that, because service based companies will obviously focus on the aptitude. They do not really care if you are a very good programmer, if you are very good with DSA or not. They just want good aptitude, right? I mean, even I could not clear the aptitude round of TCS, but I got into ZS. So again, this also gives a good example of that, right? And even on LinkedIn, I had read that a person was rejected from service-based companies like these, but he got selected as a software engineer at Amazon. So again, this proves my point that you need to figure out the type of companies you're applying to based on your skill set. So if you're not a very good coder, so just work on aptitude and target these service based companies. But if you have high aim and you are a good coder, you want to improve your further skills, right? So just work on your DSA part more and apply it to those companies only which recruit on the basis of DSA. So this is also a very major point that people forget, and when they get rejections, their morale goes down and they stop preparing well for the other companies. And this is a very big problem, yet it's not really talked about much.